So, a new Predator film, which is animated and on Hulu, came out, and it was super, super cool. So, I want to talk about it. So, Predator Killer of Killers is a new film that just dropped on Hulu not too long ago, but I saw it and I saw like one trailer about it and I was like, this looks really interesting. And I'm a little disappointed it wasn't theatrically released because I still would have gone to go see it. The movie is actually split into 3 sections, so I'm going to split it into 4. I will talk about each of the 3 and then give my final thoughts. Starting with the first section, which is called The Shield. The Shield follows this Viking called Ursa, and she is trying to exact revenge on this guy who is essentially responsible for her father's death. Now, all 3 of these stories introduce a different Predator, and I think that's really, really cool. I think that's a cool story to tell. I love the Predator series. I prefer it in concept a little bit more than Alien. The first one that she faces, or at least the one in this story, is really, really cool. I'm not going to spoil anything about it, but it's interesting to see these characters encounter predators in different time periods. The difference in technology for each of them I think is super interesting. The Shield is a really good one. It's a little bit more human. It's a little bit more, it's got some emotional beat, not exactly I think as much as it was going for, but the character Ursa is really cool. She's an absolute bad A. I mean, she is just really, really awesome and just a capable fighter, and I liked to see the story that was in there. I really recommend that one. I think it's not the best one, but probably the second best. And the next is The Sword, which follows Kenji. He and his brother were kind of both training to be samurai, and when Kenji said, oh, I don't really want to fight you over it, I don't really want to fight to get the title, until when he turned his back, his brother or his friend, whoever, did actually try to go through with it and tried to attack him, and Kenji ended up running away and becoming a shinobi, and he wanted to reconfront him years later until they are intercepted by a predator, which is also super cool because they use different techniques. And I love how there's a different predator for each of these stories, and the weapons and technology and the methods they use are different, even if they carry some similar technological things across the board. This one is probably the best one. It's the most human, it's the most emotional, it's got some really, really, really cool action scenes, a lot of more like stealth, some sneaky stuff, just really cool across the board. I really, really like this one. The Bullet. The Bullet follows John Torres, who is an aspiring Navy pilot in World War II. This one was my least favorite. This one I understood probably the least of the 3. Its story was actually more straightforward, but I felt like there were a little bit more leaps in logic with this one, especially since the Predator introduced in this one, it's more object versus object, and the human and the predator are kind of in control of them, so that one's a little bit different. But I found myself not really caring for this one. The kid who plays him is really charismatic. He's a good actor, but as far as the whole story, I really didn't care for this one. Like, it was still cool. There was a lot of cool action sequences in it, but it was starting to lose me just a little bit. But that's because there were some really insane leaps of logic that I just really couldn't get behind. All 3 of them are still pretty good. They do have a final confrontation because technically, yes, it is split into 4 parts, but I wanted to talk about the main 3 first. The final confrontation is really cool. It's really fun. Adds a little bit to the lore of the Predators, and I don't want to spoil anything, but there is a very interesting way that they tie everything together. I really hope that you check it out because it is relatively free if you have these subscriptions for it, but it is actually a story I think that was worth telling, and I'm glad that they did it because I think more films like this need to be made for franchises like this where the live actions aren't always that much of a hit. So I think that doing something like this is just more grounded, more visceral. You could do a lot more, and I just think it looks really, really cool. There's a lot of explorative opportunities. So in conclusion, I am going to give this a stream. You should absolutely stream it. Of course, if you have the subscriptions available, you should absolutely do so. This is worth the watch. It is so cool. It opens up new doors, new opportunities, and stay for that post-credit scene behind it. But thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, we will see you in the next one. Later.